Refresh. We're good.
Why is it not mute?
We're good. Frank, we're fucking live.
All right. Welcome to Season 1, Episode 2 of the All Talk Sports Show. Today we're going to focus on discussing Game 6 recap of the NBA Finals. Is the Warriors dynasty over? And we're going to be talking about NBA rumors with like free agency signings, draft rumors, etc., and trade talks. To begin, we're going to talk about Game 6 at Oracle, the last game ever there. Start off, got to say that Kyle Lowry had an excellent game for Toronto, actually, for once. Siakam lit the Warriors up in transition since he's just so, he has great length.
Gasol.
And Marc Gasol was horrible. He finished with 3 points, 9 boards, and 4 assists.
That's garbage.
He's horrible. It was good to see him win a ring, though, because he's been on the Grizzlies their whole life.
Yeah.
They're like a 7 or 8 seed every year, so they're like...
It's kind of cool. I saw, they're the first brothers to win rings.
Yeah, the
It's
Gasols.
kind of just a funny little interesting thing.
Competitiveness.
I liked how Draymond Green really played last night. He played his role perfectly, and he played phenomenally defensively and rebounded like a freaking madman. And as well as his passing was very good too. And he finished with 11 points, 19 rebounds, and 13 assists. And that's another triple-double from him this postseason.
Late in the second quarter, we saw Kerr actually play Draymond at the 5. And I had to make sure I wrote this down because they just spaced the floor so well. I believe the lineup had Iguodala as a power forward, Draymond, Quinn Cook, and Clay and Curry. But they went on like a little run with that lineup on the floor. And back down the stretch, Draymond went back to playing the 4, and they had Looney back in and Iguodala. And it just didn't work. And I couldn't stress this enough, but the Warriors are a better team when Draymond plays the center position. And they space the floor so much better. And since Draymond could rebound basically just as good as anyone else in the league because he's such a great hustle rebounder, at this point, they're substantially better with Draymond playing the 5, and it spaces the floor more, and it just helps them in so many other ways besides just him rebounding.
And even though they lost last night, you could clearly see Draymond really did help push that team to the next level. Being down 3-1, getting their ass kicked. Those 3 games they lost, Draymond really picked it up last night, playing in the 5 for that, second half or however long he was in playing that position for it. He played unbelievable. And Curry.
Curry had a good first half last night. He was playing more of as a facilitating role as a point guard, and he took some decent shots in the first half. And then
second half, typical Curry. In the playoff or the finals,
he made one shot.
One shot. Terrible shot. What did he shoot? 0 for 4 from 3. Or 0 for 4 from the field. Just absolutely atrocious.
And when Clay goes off the court, you think, okay,
you got to pick it up.
He's been our best scoring option this game. Let me pick it up since I'm the other player on this team. And just kind of collapsed, and they were just struggling to score in the fourth quarter, which helped the Raptors pull away.
What really pissed me off was seeing DeMarcus Cousins jog up and down the floor like such a lazy fucking player.
He can't fucking move. He can't move.
So goddamn. But not. No. It's not even that he can't move. He's just so lazy.
Well, he's also out of shape.
And he doesn't. He doesn't want it. He does not want it bad enough.
He wanted the free ring. He just wanted the free
exactly.
ring. That's all he wanted. He doesn't give a fuck.
Durant goes out, right? Okay, the whole team gets together. We're like, all right, we really got to fight now. Then what do you have? You have Klay Thompson, a guy who single-handedly
he carried him into the the only reason why there was someone in that game is
because of Klay Thompson.
He shot 60%.
Yep.
In the last 4 games.
Lights out of his mind, especially last night before he unfortunately tore his ACL. But then after that, to see DeMarcus Cousins kind of, just wobble up and down the floor was terrible. It was disgusting. You should be picking it up. That's your brother out there. That is not some random dude. They like Durant said, they all fight together, they all cry together, blood, sweat, and tears. And to see Draymond kind of just, walk his way up the floor, I think it's disrespectful to Klay Thompson to do that.
And not Draymond, Cousins.
And to see that from that guy.
His pick and roll defense has got to be. It's got to be just as bad or worse than Enos Kanter's.
And-
It's ridiculous.
and-
It's almost a free layup every time. Because you see at a point when Lowry drives the lane after this Siakam or Ibaka or any big sets of screen, and then Curry gets so far behind Lowry because he thinks Boogie's going to step into the lane and he doesn't. And
But
it's a
Boogie
free
thinks
layup.
somebody else is going to come over and pick him up right in the middle.
Yeah, but it's just
He's
it's
so
hard.
lazy. He should. It was a complete waste of money for that team. He was a waste of a player for that team. Battled injury all year.
I mean,
And
it's
then-
only $6 million, but
Yeah.
looking forward for the.
But it's DeMarcus
For the
Cousins.
small amount of time that he played this year, it doesn't make sense to re-sign him next year.
No,
not at all.
Not at all.
All right, so the Raptors as a team got a lot of scoring production like around Lowry, Leonard, Siakam, but the Warriors throughout until the third quarter of the game were being carried by Clay, and in the second half, Iguodala was a little bit better. I think he finished the game shooting 50% from three, which I was very surprised with. He was actually knocking down
Fourth
shots.
quarter,
We
Iguodala
we talked about a role player knocking down shots for
Yeah.
the Warriors, and somebody finally knocked down shots for Golden State.
Iguodala was that
I
one.
was so surprised.
He shot very well. He played very good defense, very good offense. He ran the court with Curry and his little funk that he gets in the fourth quarter of the finals.
He kept him somewhat in it.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
It was a couple possession game, but nothing more.
And
so
they have but it shows they have the guys. They step up when they have to. The couple of them, they step up when they have to, and they have those people to do that.
It's too late.
But
once Clay goes out,
Yeah.
that game's over.
But
it's over. It's not. It wasn't the Warriors weren't up by
Exactly.
enough points. When
Yeah.
You saw it. You saw the Raptors take the lead with about 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
And they kept
You
it.
knew by this.
Yeah.
Game over.
it was almost like a dagger three-pointer with 7 minutes left on a quick little 4-5-0 run by the Raptors to take the lead back, and you're like, that's it. This game's over. But that kind of just goes to show with Iguodala stepping up. If Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson were on that floor, it would not have been Raptors in 6. I think it would have been Warriors in 5 or 6. There's no way. That team would have been way too lethal for the Raptors to handle. Even just seeing last night how Klay shot the ball, how Klay played, how Iguodala played, and Draymond Green played. They can play. They could play. They, without their two of their top guys, they stayed in that game the entire time.
And Iguodala, actually making shots, gave Curry and Clay a little bit more space at the time because it just forces a guy to take one step closer to Iguodala just so they can close out on him quicker. As before in the series, it's basically like when Curry and Clay were on the perimeter, there was two guys in the paint for the three Warriors guys are there, and they'd put up a bad shot and they wouldn't do anything and they wouldn't rebound. So the only thing Cousins did decently well was score the basketball. I mean, and he did score the clutch basket with 46 seconds to go for the Warriors to cut it to a reasonable game, one possession game. But with the amount of minutes he played, he was such a liability on defense that it really hurt the Warriors in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, no point in re-signing him in the offseason. I don't know where he's going to sign. He's definitely not going to get his big contract and his free ring like he wanted. So, all in all, Cousins with the Warriors was a short period of time, and it didn't work out. So we'll see.
I also think, especially with Boogie, we were talking about how being there might help him improve a little bit more. Like we said, re-signing with them.
All around.
Yeah.
It would have helped him improve this all-around game because he plays with a team that runs and pushes
Right.
in transition
But-
the modern-day NBA style.
I honestly think after seeing last night, that hurt him, seeing how he played and how teams are going to
He's
look
better
at him.
he's better when a team on offense slows it down.
Yes.
He gets his
Mhm.
10, 15 post touches a game and
Right.
he goes to work.
You have to feed it to him down low because he's so big and he's so strong.
And he's better when he was on the Kings as a number one
Right.
scoring option, or when it was him and Davis and they'd switch post touches every time they went down the floor. Substantially better.
Right, he'll take it down low, he'll back you down in the post, and he'll go up with it. But
Yeah.
he can't be on the Warriors, which is a very
Too much spacing, it's too
spaced
much
out
running,
floor.
that's not his style of basketball.
You don't stay right under the basket the entire time, and I think that also could have been a very big problem for why he wasn't that efficient
And he's
on
not
offense.
that bad of a shooter. So.
Right, yeah,
But
he's
he's not quick enough to play with that
Mhm.
pace.
They're way too fast-paced of a basketball team for him.
All right. The next point that we want to bring up is obviously we all saw Klay Thompson goes up for the fast break layup, seems to have severely injured his knee, walks out of the locker room to take his free throws because the rule is at that point, if he can't shoot his free throws, the Raptors get to pick anyone on the Warriors team to shoot both free throws. So could have picked fucking Andrew Bogut, would have probably
Right.
made 0.
And Klay
That
being
makes
a
both.
phenomenal free throw shooter. Obviously, it was incredible to see Klay Thompson come back on the floor and tremendous heart from him, and it shows how bad those guys really wanted it. It doesn't matter if everyone gets tired of the Warriors being there. Those guys fight just as hard as every other team to win. They know there are always going to be contending teams. They fight just as hard. They never get tired of it. And it really shows how bad Klay Thompson wants it. How bad he wants to be out there on the floor, just like Kevin Durant.
Well, across the Warriors, because he was their best scoring option.
Exactly.
By far.
He
was shooting the ball very efficiently. He had that one where the 1 3-point shot where he runs up the court, jacks it up, doesn't even set his feet, goes in, and it was a big momentum shift in the game at that point.
Right. I also think, though, the thing was, I felt like once I kind of felt I knew that was going to be a really bad knee injury. Seeing him...
But once you see it in slow-mo,
you see his knee kind of shift like this on the landing, and Klay Thompson even made the hand motion this as saying my leg went like this. That is a textbook. You see it in the NFL, the NBA. Funny landing on a layup. Your knee jerks around a little bit, and that's kind of the way it goes. But I felt after seeing that, the Warriors were either going to pick it up and fight even harder, and they were going to win that game by 10 or 15 points, or it was over. And obviously it went to the option. That game was over right after there.
Another guy that was knocking down 3-point shots last night was Fred VanVleet. He's done it all throughout the playoffs along. And he was clutch, knocked down 3 3-point shots in the fourth quarter, scored 12 points in the fourth quarter, and the defense is very tough. He's another guy that I see, the Warriors downscreen a lot. So when the Warriors downscreen, VanVleet is not afraid to go through the defender and get up and stay on Curry. Kind of forces him to take bad shots when he's so close to him on defense. Because we know Curry's going to get his 20 to 25 shots every game, regardless of who's guarding him and how good the looks are.
It reminds me a lot of 2014 Finals, Dellavedova guarding Curry, just hustle defense, regardless of how bad Dellavedova was compared to how good. He was fucking trash. But compared to how good VanVleet's been playing, just the hustle of it, it kind of reminds me of that. Almost like he's frantic to make sure he's staying on him, which I thought really did help. Being the great player he is during the finals, it really did help, make Curry take bad shots. And it really did help on offense to have that threat to scare the Warriors.
All right, so let's talk about the last look of the game, right? So the inbound pass, Draymond Green bobbles the inbound pass. Cousins has a high screen for Curry at the top of the key. Curry gets around the screen, fadeaway shot, good look, miss. Ball bounces back out. Warriors grab the rebound, technical foul, right? So it's a technical foul on Golden State because they called the timeout when they didn't have any timeouts. So Raptors, you said Kawhi goes to the line and makes both free throws, game's over. But you got a good look with Curry at the end of the game there. Although he didn't shoot well in the fourth quarter, you knew he was taking that shot.
Yeah, he had a lot of space.
What I think would have made more sense is high screening roll. They'll double up on Curry regardless. Get it to Draymond, let Draymond set the high screen. Draymond drives the lane, kick. I don't care who it is, because you could get Curry back around on a kick, or you could get Iguodala. At that point, that probably makes the most sense. They drew up a good plan, and it worked. Get off a bad look. But it was tough to see.
The inbound pass was tough. They lost it there.
Curry's kind of like the guy when he throws up a shot when time is expiring. Like we've seen it a lot, many times before. That the shot is going to go regardless of how crazy it is.
Yeah.
It's a good look.
Yeah. I mean, you can't make all the shots. It was unfortunate, but nonetheless, it was a great play that was drawn up. It just happened to go a little awkwardly on the the shot side, defense closing in. I would have loved to see that go in, just to see how wild the Oracle would have gone. Last game there, Game 6.
Well, that would have been for the win. That's for the win.
Yeah.
Because you're down 2 at that point.
0.9, right? 0.9 seconds on the clock.
0.9, yeah. 0.9. That's for the win.
That would have.
That's it.
It would have been an unbelievable scene to see. I think I would have loved to see that. Just they go. I mean, as much as they get hate, they go through a lot of hate like that. But like I said, they fight just as hard. And seeing Klay Thompson walk into the tunnel, and I don't know if everybody saw when he walked back off the court into the tunnel, when all the adrenaline wore off, he was really limping. He wasn't really moving that well. I think it would have been an amazing shot that could have gone in.
All right, moving on. We're going to talk about how Curry played poorly in 2 of the 3 home games, and it hurt them without KD and Klay in Game 6, big time especially. So, Obviously, he had the 47-point game at home. Last night, he struggled, especially in the second half. And I just don't get it. You lose 3 games at home.
Right.
When you're supposedly one of the best home teams in the NBA, and you supposedly play some of the best third quarters in the NBA, and you have the home crowd. This is your last home game ever at Oracle. You've been in that stadium for 47. That stadium's been there for 47 years.
And the whole team.
You've grown a fan base since 2000 or 2001 when you were an 8 seed and you beat a 1 seed. Your fan base over the last 3 years has skyrocketed because you're winning championships. How do you not win that game? How do you not force to a Game 7 in Toronto? I don't care if no KD or Clay. Steph Curry is supposedly your Lord and Savior for those Warriors fans. Everyone calls them their most important player of the team. You need to win this basketball game. There's no excuse. I don't care about injuries.
I know. I just think the players on the Warriors, and it's terrible to see. It's terrible. I just feel like they're so used to watching 4 All-Stars go out there and just run through every single team in the NBA that they feel like they're going to get up there and I feel like they really just they don't want it bad enough. I don't know if it makes sense, but like they just don't have it in them to go out there. They're so used to watching these guys play. It's almost like it crushes them as players. These guys are so much better. They crack under pressure in the fourth quarter, especially Steph Curry, time and time again, and especially against the Raptors at home. 3 times. They're 0-3 against the Raptors at home. They had no business losing that game last night, with or without Klay Thompson.
All right, so we're going to congratulate the Raptors on winning the finals. Although, I'm going to be a little vulgar here. I don't give a fuck about Canada. They're fucking useless. All they have is maple syrup. I say this all the time and time again. You got your stupid fucking global ambassador, Drake. He's a fucking pussy. I don't give a shit. And given if KD and Clay were healthy, the Warriors would have blown this team out of the fucking waters. All right, please. 5 or 6 games if KD and Clay are healthy, at max. But you know what? This is what I got to say. The Warriors benefited from injuries in their playoff run, so it's only fair to congratulate the Raptors, even though Canada's fucking useless.
Dude.
And props to them winning like we said, all 3 road games at Oracle. And you won the series in 6 games. You're the first Canadian team to ever win the finals. Great for the city of Toronto because you want that. The NBA always talks about
there's Drake, the fucking global ambassador.
Yeah, the fucking global ambassador.
Please,
just go into Jurassic Park and let the fucking fans beat the shit out of him.
Nonetheless, of course, it is incredible for the country of Canada. As you've seen, they have people all over the country, all the way up in Newfoundland, all over East Bumblefuck, they're everywhere, watch parties, sitting down watching on the big screens. Like, yes, nonetheless, it is great for them, but like, realistically speaking, like he said, it does piss me off the attention Drake gets, and especially from social media. It shows just how much of a business basketball really is, and how much they try and appeal to the majority of people who don't have a deep fan feeling to a team.
You let the guy walk all over the court.
Yeah.
You let him touch the coach. You let him sit. He was leaning up against the scorer's table at home games. He acts like he's a goddamn player. He's not a player. He does nothing for this team.
But the Raptors gift them a $500,000 fucking jacket.
He does nothing for this team. He's a waste of time and a waste of space. And see, this is the worst thing about it, right? We know he's there. They show him on the TV.
They show him on the fucking TV.
1,000 times.
Oh, believe me.
He's there.
They show him on the fucking TV.
You know what? That goes back into it more and more because he sees, they keep putting me on TV. This is good for me. This is good publicity.
Right.
So just show him once.
They know he's there.
Mike Breen was talking about it. He goes, they finally showed Drake in the second quarter of one of the games, and he goes, I didn't want to say his name tonight.
Oh, well.
Thank God. If only
God forbid.
Mike Breen.
God forbid.
All right, we don't want to give him any more attention than we're giving him right now, so we'll move on. Kawhi arguably had one of the best playoff performances ever, especially in the Bucks series. Keying in on the double overtime win that they had, which they desperately needed to win. Gotta say, they were down 2-0 in that game. Kawhi guards Giannis that game. They finally, he said he'd take the defensive responsibility guarding Giannis. Holds Giannis to 12 points, scores 35+. Toronto wins a double overtime game, shifts the series. They win 4 straight games in that series. He led the playoffs in minutes, points, field goals made, free throws made, rebounds, and assists. No, not assists, sorry. But arguably one of the best performances ever. This is his second ring And you could also say he's a dynasty killer. Maybe, potentially. We'll see. But
It depends on how the Warriors pan out, signings, everything.
this is his second Finals MVP.
Yeah, and this he's killed 2 so far in terms of dynasties.
We'll see. We'll get into that later. Next time, a big thing that we see is in the NBA is how your role players play. Role players usually normally play well at home. They feed off the crowd. They're not as worried. They're comfortable. They're at home. But for the Raptors here, we saw something even a little bit crazier. We saw Siakam, Van Fleet, and Ibaka play substantially better on the road. I don't know about substantially better, but they played like almost stars on the road. And to get a guy like Van Fleet to come in, knock down 3-point shots consistently,
Out of nowhere,
Ibaka to rebound, use his length down low. Siakam, great in transition. He's huge. He actually makes a couple 3-point shots, even though he's not a great shooter. But it was big, and it seemed almost as if Kawhi wasn't getting as many touches because everybody else around him, like Siakam, Van Fleet, Ibaka, Lowry last night, did so well around him that it was so balanced. Like,
Kawhi
wasn't forced down to Kawhi every time. Go get us an open look. Create your own shot. Get us an open
as
look.
As the playoffs went on more and more, they kind of grown together as the chemistry of how they play as a playoff team. And like last night, Kawhi didn't have an outstanding game. But the whole team played, and I don't know if anybody looked at this stat line. Through the whole spread of the team, the points were balanced so well.
Yeah, when you had Siakam, Van Fleet, Ibaka, Lowry, and Leonard on, you have such a balance of points. And you had starters like Danny Green and Marcus Gasol played horrible. And not to forget, Danny Green threw the ball away. He threw the ball away with 9 seconds to go. He threw the basketball away, and he crushed it.
Siakam,
you could have sealed the game there.
Siakam last night finished with 26. Kawhi Leonard had 22. Kyle Lowry had 26. Phenomenal game.
Van Fleet had 22.
And Serge Ibaka had 15. Just an overall almost 20s down the entire board. That's incredible as a team to perform in this game, in a game that would change the entire momentum of the series. And win your first ring as a franchise in for your city, to play that well as an entire team. It's like they were in such a win mode. They had no doubt in their mind they were going out there to kill, and they sure did.
Well, I'd say also Game 6 was the best game we had of the series.
Absolutely.
We had the last game ever at Oracle.
Just a lot going on.
The Warriors playing for Durant, Clay's injury. Everything. It was just an exciting NBA Finals game to watch from start to finish. The Raptors again winning their first title in franchise history. Popularity of basketball rises in Canada now. Obviously,
huge.
It's huge for the NBA as a business. And it was good to see a guy like I said earlier, Marcus Gasol win a ring finally after all the shit that he went through in Memphis. So I was happy to see that. Even though he played really poorly and didn't shoot the ball consistently throughout the playoffs, but we'll save that for
another time. Gasol played decent through the playoffs and the finals.
Nothing crazy.
Right, but what are you expecting?
Well, I expect him to make a couple shots last night. He scored 3 points.
Right, yeah. But, once again, you look at it, it's 2020, 2020, 15. You can't ask for more from a team than that right there.
All right, so we're going to get into our next topic here. This is one that's going to be very interesting. Is the Warriors dynasty over? So they lost to Toronto after back-to-back rings. KD could be on his way out, and Clay has a major injury.
They're both out for a year.
They may lose guys like Boogie and Looney in the offseason. So who do you think, resigns for the Warriors?
Absolutely Klay Thompson. And I'm still
going to... You think Durant's on his way out still?
I think Durant's gone still.
Okay.
Like we talked about last time.
We'll get into that later where we think he's going to land, but you still think he's on his way out?
Yes, like we said last time.
The deal is the Warriors can offer both guys max contracts, right? So they could both offer them max contracts. Then the Warriors would have to pay about a $25 million luxury tax each year for the next 5 years, which is crazy. Then if you want to bring back a guy like Draymond Green, if you've had that since the beginning, you're going to be paying about a $30 million luxury tax. Everybody else is going to be out on a vet minimum. So it doesn't make sense.
They're the biggest team in the league.
It doesn't make any sense.
Everyone wants to get paid.
It doesn't make any sense. Durant finally wants to get paid. Clay's going to get paid with his big max. A guy like Boogie's probably going to want to get a decent amount of money. Looney's going to get big money, even though he's a guy that when he leaves the Warriors, he's going to be like a below-average basketball player.
System.
He's going to make about $15 million next year, and he's going to get signed to about a 3-year deal for probably like a team like the Suns or somebody stupid like the Mavericks, and they'll just throw money at Looney. It doesn't make any sense, but it's going to happen. So we're saying right next year, given that KD might be on his way out, even if he resigns, even if KD and Clay both resign, they're not playing next year, right?
Right.
So we got Curry. Who do you think is going to be their second scoring option next year? You think they're going to sign somebody out in free agency? A guy maybe like Malcolm Brogdon or a guy like J.J. Redick to come in and knock down shots and play the Klay Thompson role? Or Draymond Green steps up his scoring? Or a guy like Iguodala maybe steps up his scoring? Who do you think would be their second scoring option next year besides Steph Curry?
I think they are going to try and roll with what they have. And, well, assuming that they...
Well, okay, so listen to this, right? If Durant leaves,
Yes.
straight up leaves,
Yes.
Boogie leaves,
Yes.
Durant's $31 million, Boogie about $6 million.
Yes.
You free up about $40 million. You're going to give Clay a decent chunk of that, but you'll still have a little bit of money to sign some role players. So
Well, if they have the money, I think they will sign
you got to
somebody.
think about it. Clay's going to be making about $45 million next year, and he's not going to step on the court.
Right.
So,
But they need him the year after that.
well, yeah, but
Especially the way he plays.
Next year, who do you think would be the second scoring option? In your eyes, from what you see, who do you think?
I think Draymond Green.
I don't know about that. We'll have to see. I think the Warriors are going to sign a guy like J.J. Redick.
Well,
think it makes a lot of
assuming
sense.
they don't sign somebody,
Yeah.
I think Draymond Green would be the guy that would go up and score. Like, he would be the next big scoring option on that team. Curry and Draymond Green, I think, would be the two guys that put up the most points consistently every single game of this season. But, like, that's assuming they don't sign someone.
Well, Curry's points per game are going to skyrocket next year.
Right. But if they do turn to free agency to sign somebody, I think that they will sign somebody who will be the number 2 scoring option. I definitely think that will be the scenario that they choose, assuming, Durant leaves, they free up the money, they do sign someone. They're not signing somebody to be a number 3 or a 6 man. They're signing somebody to be their number 2 scoring option or fit that team in the way that he could be one of their top scorers every single night.
All right, so what would you say your win predictions for the Warriors are going to be next year? So, assuming that Clay and KD, even if they resign, Clay would play maybe in late March.
Well,
Towards down the
figure...
stretch towards the end. So what would you say your win prediction would be for Golden State next year? Where do you think their win total is going to be at?
I think maybe in the 50s.
50 still?
I think so.
I'd say about 48 wins.
I think so.
I think that maybe gets you a 5 or 6 seed in the West if you're lucky.
Because Curry, he could play.
And then you might get to the playoffs. You might win a round. You might play against a team like Denver or Oklahoma City, and you might win a round. But I don't see them winning. I can see them winning 2 rounds, but I wouldn't see any.
I wouldn't go as far to say that.
But if Clay comes back, if Clay
right.
comes back for the postseason, they might.
You don't know.
Finals.
You don't know what's going to happen. Right.
They legitimately might make the finals.
Depends on how they pan out.
For the regular
guys.
season, probably about 48.
Yeah.
Between 45 and 50 wins is probably a fair
Right.
standpoint.
Everybody knows Curry can play. He can flat out ball. Everybody knows it.
They haven't shown much effort over the past couple of years in the regular season when they were loaded with stars. So do you want to play Curry 38 minutes a night in the regular season?
Well, he is injury prone.
He's got bad ankles.
He's got bad ankles. That's the thing. And, you lose him, that franchise will go right in the toilet.
All right, so what kind of moves do you think the Warriors are going to make this offseason if they lose KD and since Clay's out? So,
well, as we
like
said,
in my eyes, I see a guy like J.J. Redick signing there, someone to replace kind of Clay's role, a guy that can shoot the ball with guys like hands in space. The Warriors is a lot of basic down screening, a lot of like Curry and Clay running up to the wings, a lot of down screening. I can see something like that. I don't know if they're going to waive about $20 million in Malcolm Brogdon's space, maybe, possibly, and sign him. Maybe they'll bring back Boogie or Looney as a second scoring option, but I think they're going to need to take the load off Curry. I can't see him consistently scoring 35 to 40 points per game in a regular season game just to be the 5th or 6th seed. I just don't get it. So
he's going to carry them, but they need more depth.
They need a second scoring option. They do. That's for a second scoring option.
They do.
So now we're going to move on to our free agency rumors. We have some pretty good ones, free agency and trade rumors. So obviously Kyrie Irving signs with Rock Nation, and the owner of Rock Nation's brother is the CEO of the Brooklyn Nets. Following Kyrie signing Rock Nation a few hours later, it was announced that he is preparing to sign with the Brooklyn Nets once free agency opens. Rick, thoughts on this?
Absolutely. I mean, there's no question about it. I mean, from the get-go, once he
I just don't
signed...
get it. With Kyrie and D'Angelo Russell, you don't win more than 50 games.
Right.
You're no more than a 5 or 4 seed in the East, and you're never making the Eastern Conference Finals. That's a combo guard in the backcourt that does not work well. Both guys are heavily reliant on scoring isolation ball.
Yes.
Kyrie and D'Angelo Russell aren't great facilitators. I guess D'Lo would play a little bit off the ball more because Kyrie would be the true point guard in this situation. But it just
But how well did that work?
It just
how
doesn't.
Well
it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. I don't think that would work.
I still think the best option for him would be Knicks with
you,
Durant.
Let me give you this. Yeah, okay. So let me give you this situation, right? It's June 30th, 6 p.m. Durant says, "I'm signing with the Knicks." You think he could sway Kyrie to sign with them? Or at this point, do you think Brooklyn's done?
Well,
do you think Brooklyn's a done deal? So Durant signs, 6 p.m. June 30th, says, "Listen, I'm signing with the Knicks, Kyrie. Let's go."
Well, here's the thing: we don't know what's going on behind closed doors with contract stuff like that. He might have some sort of sign something to that he intends to sign with them. There could be just certain things he's saying to people. We don't know what's going on behind closed doors.
I mean, I wouldn't trust anything really till people put pen to paper.
Of course. I mean, you could probably find so many things that happen.
We've seen before players say they're going to sign with the team and then
right.
they don't. They back it up.
Right.
So,
but in terms of Kyrie Irving, I think the whole Nets thing, I think he's banking on Durant staying. I truly think he is.
Yeah,
I think he's banking on Durant staying, and I think if Durant signs with the Knicks, if Kyrie signs with the Nets, and I think if KD signs with the Knicks, Kyrie's gonna be so fucking pissed because he's gonna be stuck there
He's
with
not
Russell.
Gonna sign first. If KD's leaving, he's signing first, and then everybody else signs because they want to see where he moves first.
Well, assuming KD is willing to leave and go to a team by himself and let everybody come to him. If Durant's trying to follow somebody,
KD's gonna go there first.
Yes,
and
he
will
himself.
Recruit.
Yes, Durant himself can go to a team and instantly make them contenders, especially the Knicks. They have room for so many people. They are going to be recruiting. I think Kyrie, now that we discuss it more.
Kemba Walker said there's expressed interest with him with the Mavericks, Lakers, and Knicks. So even though he most likely will stay in Charlotte, that could be another possibility.
Yeah.
So we'll move on here. The Knicks and Nets will still also heavily pursue Kevin Durant in free agency, regardless of him rupturing his Achilles. Next, we're going to talk about Rich Paul, Anthony Davis' agent, saying that no matter where Anthony Davis is traded, even if he's traded to Lakers, he will test free agency next summer, no matter what. So, Davis could test free agency. He'll be a Laker by the end of the weekend.
Absolutely. 100%. If he's going to test free agency next summer anyway.
If the Lakers bust this year with LeBron and Anthony Davis, he could be on his way out.
But if he goes there and they mesh together, the whole team plays great together.
He's re-signing a 5-year deal.
He's re-signing a 5-year deal, and they're going to make a run in the playoffs. Without question. There's no reason for him not to go to the Lakers at this point if they're saying he's going to be in free agency at the end of the year. There's no reason for him not to. He absolutely will be going to the Lakers.
More Anthony Davis trade rumors. The Lakers and Pelicans are working together to get a deal done by the weekend. But there are two third-party teams at this point interested in being involved. One, the Washington Wizards. Two, the Chicago Bulls. Noted the Wizards' Bradley Beal might be up to be on the move to New Orleans. Mm-hmm. And Zach LaVine might be up on the move to from Chicago. Mm-hmm. So, honestly, I think Bulls makes more sense. Lonzo Ball goes to the Bulls.
Yes.
The Bulls give up the pick.
Yes, we discussed this. The Bulls fits with the 3-team trade perfectly.
Yeah, the Bulls are the third team.
And I think if you look up any rumors about this or, specific analysts, most of them will say that, we both also think the Bulls is the best fit for this 3-team trade to get Anthony Davis on the Lakers.
Yes. Especially with the number 7 pick being available.
Yes.
So then we hear from Kemba Walker. He said he would take less money with the Hornets so they can hopefully sign other free agents. He said this because they're paying 5 guys who suck over about $10 million next year. Cody Zeller, Nicholas Batum, Bismack Biyombo, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, and Marvin Williams will all be making over $10 million next year. Meanwhile, you have decent players like Miles Bridges and Jeremy Lamb and Malik Monk on your team who are barely making even close to that. So, in my eyes, I could see the Hornets maybe having to move guys on big contracts in the offseason if they want to sign another free agent. And I think a team that might only sign one free agent and then has two max slots, hint Knicks, I would be very glad to take a contract with one of these guys, let it run out for a year or two, and take a guy like maybe Jeremy Lamb or take a guy like Malik Monk or Miles Bridges. Or take two of them.
Young guys.
Or take two of them. Because I think Kemba, reality, looks at his career from this standpoint is, I'm going to stay with Charlotte my whole life. I'm going to continue to be an all-star. I'll make NBA all-teams. Maybe I won't win a ring. I'll make my money here. I've been here for 8 years already. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to go down as the best Hornet of all time. Because he pretty much already is. But he wants to get his number retired with the Hornets. I don't see him moving.
But do you think he has enough pull? Do you think
I don't think a tier 1 or 2 free agent would sign there. I think a guy maybe like I said, Malcolm Brogdon.
I think the team, if they want to
like
win,
Bojan maybe signs.
I think they have to develop.
I don't see anybody else. If Kemba wants to win a ring and he values winning a ring more than being a loyal player to the Hornets franchise, he will leave and he will go to the Lakers or the Knicks.
Yep, I think he would march his way right over to the Knicks with Kevin Durant.
Okay, so now more news. Goran Dragic has picked up his $19 million player option with the Miami Heat, which is way too much money for Goran Dragic. It makes no sense in my eyes. And then we say almost 100% that Kawhi is going to re-sign in Toronto now after winning the title.
There's no reason for
Although the Clippers are still supposed to be high on Kawhi's destination list.
I think that's all bullshit.
I
think it's all talk. There's no way. He just won a ring, played out of his mind. He plays great with this team. He knows he plays great. Everyone knows he plays great. Look at the team and how they play together. Just the sheer dominance. I think he would be absolutely insane to not sign with them.
Okay, and then we'll the Warriors are expected to offer Clay D and K both 5-year contracts, max contracts. Like I said, we talked about this before. The luxury tax would be ridiculous. You won't be able to maintain a guy like Draymond who's been there since the start. And that's about it for today. Next week we'll be back. We're going to talk more about the NBA draft, which is coming up next Thursday. The Pelicans have the number 1 overall pick and are expected to take Zion Williamson. The top 3 is pretty set in place, but from 4 down to the end of the first round, there could be a lot of surprise picks. There has been in the past.
Yes.
So we'll go into that next week. We're going to talk about our top. We're going to make a mock draft of our top 10 in the NBA draft. We'll go into more free agency rumors. Obviously, as free agency is closing in June 30th at 6 p.m. The window for free agency opens up. So we'll be back. Ciao.